Hello and welcome to the LCTV News. I'm Mukala Kabongo. In this edition of the LCTV News, Greater Lynn Senior Services reached tentative agreement, Lynn Police receives grant, National Endowment for Arts gives raw arts grant, sit down with meteorologist Justin Perry, and more. The Greater Lynn Senior Services have reached a tentative agreement with Teamster Local 42 last week with drivers and clerical workers who serve Lynn's elderly and disabled population. In a statement, Local 42 Secretary and Treasurer Joe Benevento says that they have reached an agreement that will provide quality improvements for the Teamsters who transport, serve our elders and disabled every single day. The 3-year agreement between Local 42 and GLIS includes an increase in economic packages of more than 13%, no increase to health care costs for its members, safety improvements, and participation in New England Teamster pension funds. In the contract, the union halted efforts to diminish the grievance, seniority, and steward provisions in the contract. As of now, negotiations have halted, and LCTV will keep you up to date with the latest news. Raw Arts Reel-to-Reel Film School was the recipient of a $35,000 grant from the National Empowerment for the Arts. With this grant, Raw plans to use it to fund more films, as well as expand their staffing. Raw will also use the money for equipment upkeep. The Reel-to-Reel Film School program is known for their animation programs, documentary, music videos, narratives, and personal filmmaking. Rachel St. Pierre, co-manager of the program, in a statement says, "Film is an incredible tool for youth to get their message out there." Lynn fire stations are expected to undergo renovations in the near future. This after an extensive feasibility study. The Fayette Street Station is expected to undergo an extensive expansion. Other locations that are expected to undergo renovations are the Pine Hill and Tower Hill locations. The next phase for the city is for the Inspectional Service Department to solicit architectural firms to conduct a study that is expected to be completed by the end of the year. The Fayette Street Station, which is 57 years old, is the newest station compared to the other stations around the city, but has more damages to it than the other stations. It is also one of the busiest stations in the city. The Lynn City Council approved last year a bond that paid for 2 feasibility studies. The bond also included a $186,000 in funds for repairs and renovations on the Linfield Street Fire Station. Last week, Lynn Police Department was awarded a grant of $222,133 by the state to combat gang violence. Governor Charlie Baker's administration awarded the city the grant through the Shannon Community Initiative Grant Program. The program aims to solve gang and youth violence problems in the community. The Teen Drop-In Center at Lynn Tech will be one of the major focuses of the funding. The Catholic Charities and Family and Children's Center will also receive case managers through the grant as well. Lynn Youth Street Outreach Advocacy will also receive funds through their work with at-risk youth. According to Lieutenant Peter Holy, gang violence is way down as well as juvenile delinquency. Juvenile arrests were down 43% in 2018. North Shore Community College will also receive approximately $28,573 from the Shannon grant funding. North Shore Community College serves as Lynn's research partner. With the impending closure of Shaw Supermarket, Stop and Shop on Washington Street is working on addressing the grocery gap in the city. One of the solutions to address the grocery gap will be providing free bus services to seniors in the downtown Lynn area. This will allow the seniors to get access to the store's pharmacy and groceries. The pharmacy at Shaw Supermarket was convenient for many of the seniors due to its proximity to their homes. With providing free bus services, this will address the seniors' concerns of having access to a pharmacy. Bus services for the seniors will run every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 a.m. and will make stops at St. Mary's Plaza, Stevens Towers Apartment, and Wall Plaza. Fathers and daughters packed into the Knights of Columbus for the first annual Daddy-Daughter Dance, and LCTV sent a crew to capture the festivities. Fathers along with their daughters gathered at the Knights of Columbus in Lynn for the Lynn Parks and Recreational's first annual Father-Daughter Dance.
City's great for always hosting stuff that we can come together with. It's great. I already seen like 200 of my best friends, so it's been a great atmosphere. It's been wonderful that we can put this together every year.
A relationship between a father and a daughter is one very special relationship, one that a father will do anything to protect.
Can't say enough words for that. I protect her every day, every way.
I'm excited and happy to be here with my dad.
Ava and Valentine Rodriguez had a great time at the father-daughter dance along with other parents and are looking forward to future father-daughter dance by Lynn Parks and Recreations.
This is Valentine Rodriguez with my daughter Ava Rodriguez. She's the best little girl I ever met in my life. Thank you, Lynn Parks and Recreation. We love you. Thank you for keeping everyone safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Earlier this month, the Grand Army of the Republic held a public forum at their Andrew Street location, and LCTV was on the scene.
Some of the things in the museum, a lot of people haven't even seen them. This is on the bottom shelf of one of our displays upstairs. And as everyone knows, the rifle was probably one of the most infamous, the things that caused most of the casualties in the war were the rifle and the Manet ball. Well, on these, I believe, and someone correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but these are rifle shells for cannons. They also did the same thing for cannons. So when these things actually started going through the air, instead of going up in the air like the round shells, the velocity was incredibly increased. These made every mortar and brick fort obsolete the first time they were ever fired. You know, so these two are from Gettysburg.
Wow! Oh my God!
And this is the stuff the guys brought back to them. You know, and so it's incredible. And John, can I see the other one over there?
To watch the full video, go to lyntv.org and click on the video on demand. On the latest episode of Lynn Uncovered, we follow Faces of Lynn and its creator, Cinda Dahn.
Faces of Lynn is something that I thought about since 2013. This is something that I've started because I really enjoy capturing still images. And I learned this when I went to Raw Artworks. From when I was 16 to 19, I attended their reel-to-reel film program where we created short films. And I realized I can't draw. And I can't paint, and what I really enjoyed was capturing images. I love to capture moments. When I take these photos for the magazine, I remember the conversation that we had. I remember where we sat, what the weather was like, and I just didn't know, like, did I want to make a Tumblr for it? Did I want to make an Instagram for it? Those platforms didn't work for me because what I wanted was a true celebration of the community in Lynn. And, you know, I saw that a magazine would be the perfect outlet for that. Bringing it to life, throwing release parties where local vendors will come together, local DJs, local MCs, photographers, and photo booths, and all sorts of folks, and performers and dancers and artists that will hang their work. It's a true celebration of the community of Lynn by the people that live in Lynn, and I think that's really special to me. It's just my baby. I love being able to uplift voices. I loved bringing people together.
Before we get started, can we all just give a round of applause to Cinda?
I love photographing people, and I love being able to make people feel comfortable and kind of have fun with it. And if I've ever photographed you for the magazine, I'm pretty sure you hear me ask you, can you just give me a fake laugh, like, and just to help them relax. And so it's funny because, you know, the mayor is like an authority figure to me, and you know, just kind of talking him through the photo shoot was interesting. I mean, he did fine. He was just kind of like, I don't know what to do. You know, and being able to photograph people, I think building that connection and being able to help people relax and get comfortable in their own skin and really celebrate that, and being able to capture that and paste it and put it into a collective like Faces of Lynn Magazine, I think is really special. I think bringing it into a magazine format, something that is considered to be dying, and bringing it back to life by meeting all these individuals that are creating positive change, is something that is very neat. Like, it's cool. What I love is when people see that photo of themselves and they're like, damn, I look good. And I'm like, I know. I think that's fun. I enjoy doing that, allowing people to feel comfortable and free and being able to celebrate who they are. I know that this is something that I won't stop doing because it's so important. It's so fun. It's just so wonderful to connect with everybody. And I know that in the future, I hope that I'm able to cover something close to 92,000 residents, but who knows?
Lynn Uncovered is a monthly web series from LCTV's. Artists, restaurants, organizations, and ordinary people help mold this city, and we aim to tell their stories. Now for the sports update. The Lynn English men's basketball team clinched the Northeastern Conference title after a 29-point victory over Medford at Paul Cavanagh Fieldhouse. The Bulldogs continued their winning streak by defeating Needham and Brookline to win the Comcast tournament at Woburn High this past Monday. The Bulldogs had strong performances from Jack Rodriguez, who scored 23 points against Brookline in the finals, and Alonzo Litton, who finished the game with 20 points. Jarnell Guzman once again came up big for the Bulldogs after hitting the game-winning three-pointer against Needham Sunday evening. He hit the go-ahead three-pointer to put the Dogs up 64-63 against Brookline. Mason Jean-Baptiste knocked down a free throw late to give the Bulldogs the 65-63 victory. The English men's basketball team are the next featured guests on Athletes Corner. Check it out. Team's ability to stay calm during those times, because in both games you saw each team make a run, especially when Brookline, they put that half-court trap in there. Your team was able to withstand that. They was able to gather themselves and figure it out. Sometimes, sometimes teams, they get a little overwhelmed when things like that happen.
I honestly think, my coaches and myself, we limit ourselves from calling a lot of timeouts. As basketball players, we feel like we have a group of kids that can play through those type of moments. And in basketball, we talk about all the time, people are gonna make runs. Well, that's what happened. They kept their composure, even though we made some turnovers, we made some plays that we were capable of making better plays and better decisions. But, they're a great group. They gathered themselves together and just made it happen. We just keep telling them, make plays, look at this, look at that. And they're all creative enough to do those things. So coaching those guys makes your job a little easier. And me yelling at them all the time, that's the hardest part. The basketball part's the easy part. And I think they understand that I'm gonna be on them and yell at them regardless. But in those moments, they're not afraid. So we really don't get too concerned or too worried about our team making a run at us. So just let them.
Watch the full interview on After the Whistle on Wednesday, February 27th. Congratulations to the Lynn English Lady Bulldogs, who clinched a spot in the state tournament after their 34-31 victory over Medford. Kalia Reynosa finished finished the game with 6 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, and 6 steals, leading the Bulldogs. Reynosa also had a key rebound to give the Lady Bulldogs an extra possession to seal the victory. The Lady Bulldogs now await their seeding and matchup for the state tournament. The St. Mary's men's basketball team fell to Springfield Cathedral 59-55 at the Spartan Classic for their second loss of the season. Joey Abet Walsh led the Spartans with 27 points, including 9 3-pointers. The Lynn Classical Rams finished their season with a 64-50 victory over Cathedral last Saturday. Darrell Rucker led the Rams with 27 points. Jeffrey Hill also had a strong performance for the Rams, finishing the game with 19 points. The St. Mary's Lady Spartans won the Spartan Classic after their 73-36 victory over Amesbury. Pamela Gonzalez led the Spartans with 17 points and won tournament MVP. Congratulations to Lynn Tech senior Robert Wallace, who became the first player in Lynn Tech history to score 1,000 points and grab 1,000 rebounds for his career. On this week's Lynn Lowdown, host Mukala Kabongo sat down with meteorologist Justin Perry. Welcome to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm your host, Mukala Kabongo, and today we're going to talk weather. And with me, we have meteorologist Mr. Justin Perry. How are you doing, sir?
Very good. How are you?
Yeah, trying to stay warm.
Trying to stay warm,
You know, the little snowfall we had last night kind of made my good mood go away.
Yeah,
but...
yeah. Well, you've been in a good mood a lot lately, if that's the case.
Yeah. So, Justin, meteorologist, what got you into it?
I don't really have an answer for that. In my lifetime, since I can remember, I've just loved snowstorms, thunderstorms, some of my first memories of this stuff. So my real answer to that is I don't really know how I got into it, but it was just something innate to me when I was a kid, and I just have followed that passion all the way to this room right now.
Yeah, and that led to you to creating North Shore
Weather Service.
North Shore Weather Service.
Yes.
Sorry about that. And with that, you post you give a lot of weather updates on that. You take a lot of photos. Is that all you?
Yes.
Tell me about that. Just being able to do all that just by yourself.
Well, it takes a lot of time, even for your average. Well, not that we have any really too many this year, but if a snowstorm is coming, I might spend 6 or 7 days pretty much around the clock looking at weather data. I have services that I pay for to get the most recent accurate data that I can get, except for the European model, because that would cost about $200,000 a year to get from the Europeans.
You might need a sponsor for that.
Yeah, that would take a lot of work. But other than that, I receive accurate, fast information, computer model data, satellite radar information. And then I kind of use programs that I've built myself on my computer to get them ready to be sent out to people through my Facebook page and stuff. So
yeah, let's talk about this winter so far. We've had some snowstorms here.
Yes.
I think 1 or 2 snowstorms. Right. Not as heavy snow like we usually get.
Right.
But talk about that. What's the cause of that?
Well, so at this point, we're only at 4.7 inches of snow for the winter. And at this point, our average for being on today, Valentine's Day, it would normally be around 24 inches of snow for the year. So we're running a solid 20-inch deficit at this point.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look good going forward. We're not really in a really snowy pattern. We can't really, in this pattern that we're in, we can't really generate big snowstorms like we have in the past. Yep. They're quick. They change over to sleet, freezing rain, and rain as they come through. And we end up just with very minimal snowfall totals. So I don't really see that changing too much in the next couple weeks. Yep. So, you know, we're going to come in at a low number for the year. We're at 4.7 now. The all-time low is 1936, 1937. We had 9 inches of snow for the year.
Yeah.
As recently as 2011, 2012, we had 9.3 inches for the year. We came in just 0.3 inches above the all-time record. And, you know, at that point, that was a pretty... for a meteorologist like myself, that was a pretty depressing year. January we had 6.8, but that was spread out, not really one storm that gave us all of that. It was spread out over a few events. So we're at the bottom of the barrel for snowfall this year.
This is one of the lowest.
This is one of the lowest.
And now, how does that compare? Compared to the snowfall, how's that comparison from previous years?
The thing about this winter is that we have had about a 6-inch rainfall, snowfall. We're above normal since September. So we have been in a wet pattern.
Yeah. Okay.
Our temperatures for this winter have been slightly above normal, but not too bad that we've had our cold days recently. Yeah. So, in other words, there's no real reason, given the extremely wet pattern that we're in, that we should be this low. One of the most confusing parts, and there's going to be a lot of research that's done on this going forward, is that this is a winter that is an El Nino winter, where the waters in the Pacific are above normal. Actually, just today, the Climate Prediction Center said it is officially weak, low-grade El Nino. So it is that. However, the atmospheric pattern matches more accurately with La Nina.
That is very interesting.
So this is kind of an opposite effect winter than what we expected, and that's why a lot of our forecasts for the seasons have not done well.
Now, does climate change, global warming, what role does that play into this?
So here's where it does matter. When we say what is the average water temperature of the Pacific Ocean, we use data that goes back into the 1930s, 1940s. If you use climate change and global warming if you view that as a real thing and data does support that, then you're using old water temperatures in a new changing climate. So if our waters are above normal compared to 1930 now, well, they should be.
Yeah.
If the globe is warming, they should be warmer than they were in 1930. So that would give us a false impression that it's El Nino, right? Yeah. Because if El Nino is an above normal temperature of the waters, but we're using a 1930 standard, 1950 standard, of course it's going to look like El Nino.
Okay.
But so therefore, we have to adjust our scales, our standards for sea surface temperatures, for atmospheric temperatures, to match our ever, slowly evolving atmosphere and ocean couplet that we have going on.
Winter's here. It's a couple months. It's going to be gone. So what should we expect for the rest of the winter, and also going into the spring?
So as I said earlier, I don't think there's going to be too much change going forward. We're in an up and down pattern temperature-wise. We'll get a storm to come in, and it might warm up actually with the arrival of that storm. And then when the storm passes, northwest winds come in, and we get cold air from Canada when it passes by. So normal temperature variation, up and down, just like you would in any other early spring or late winter part of the season. So that's not going to change. And truthfully, I think if we are going to have a big storm, it's going to be when this pattern starts to break down in March.
Okay.
So even though we've had a really bad snow season, we have seen, a la the April Fool's blizzard of 1997, that you can get a late season big storm.
Yeah.
Even in a season that really didn't have very much going for it, snowfall-wise.
Wasn't it a couple years ago? Didn't we have snow in May or something a couple years ago?
Yes, we have.
So,
and there's been, and in the 1970s, there was even a snowfall as late as, I think it was like May 12th and 13th. I'll have to check the date on that exactly. Yeah. But in other words, it went, there are times when we can get snow very late into even the spring. Most of us hate when that happens, obviously, because we're ready for the warm temperatures at that point.
Definitely.
But so this would be a season where I think winter's not going to let go, even though it feels like it never really arrived in the first place. But I'm gonna keep looking at the data and the charts as we go. And again, The Climate Prediction Center just put out a statement today saying El Nino is officially here.
Okay.
And the impacts should start happening any moment now.
Should we all
but
be worried?
we've been saying that all winter. So
Should we all be worried?
I don't think we need to really worry. But like I said, if this is the type of season where if something is going to happen late and surprise us all and upset us that it's not spring, behaving as it should, then this would be the type of year where I think that might happen, unfortunately.
All right, we're running out of time. I told you it goes by quick.
Yes, it does.
But before we get out of here, just tell everybody where to find you, plug your social media.
Sure. So I have a Facebook fan page where I post weather updates all the time about our snowstorms, rainstorms, or anything, any type of weather information that you might like. That's facebook.com/North Shore Weather Service. And then I also run my own page, which I'm developing day by day, line by line now, and that is www.northshoreweatherservice.com. And you're free to join and check out that page. I post snowfall maps. And there's also a 48-hour forecast, which is hour by hour for the next 48 hours, plus current live temperature conditions across all the North Shore. So any city that you're in, you can look at that page and see what the current temperature is, wind speeds, wind chill, whatever. So that's where I'm at right now, and going forward, I'll be adding more to that, like a computer model that focuses on the North Shore, in fact, at some point during the summer. So I have a lot of things to add to that, and I hope that you'll join me in creating a weather community for the North Shore, and I hope to bring some understanding to our weather climate here.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much, sir, for coming and letting us know about the weather. This was very informative and greatly appreciated. And once again, Mr. Justin Perry, local meteorologist. I can't even say that right. Meteorologist.
Yes.
I just want to thank him. I'm your host, Mukala Kabongo. You guys have been watching the Lynn Lowdown, and we will see you next time. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. And now for some upcoming local events. On Friday, February 22nd, from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m., the first annual fundraiser for Justine's Warrior will be taking place at the Knights of Columbus in Lynn. It will feature entertainment, 50/50 raffles, and silent auctions will take place during the fundraiser. On Monday, February 25th, the rededication of the Grand Army of the Republic will take place from 6:30 until 8 p.m. on Andrew Street. The Community Path of the Lynn Coalition will be hosting their kickoff on February 28th from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. at the Lynn Museum. Food, drinks, and music will be provided to guests. The Knights of Columbus Council will be hosting a cornhole tournament on March 2nd from 4:30 until 8 p.m. At the Knights of Columbus, doors will open at 4 p.m. and the competition begins at 5 p.m. LCTV's next Paramount film series will be on Monday, March 11th, and will feature Blazing Saddles. Doors open at 6:30. Movie begins at 7. Free popcorn, free beverages will be provided. Thank you for watching the LCTV News. I'm your host, Mukala Kabongo. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us at lyntv.org to watch any show anytime on your computer, tablet, or phone. Have a great day.